Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for 22 News at noon. I'm Ciara Speller. A funeral service is underway in Houston, Texas at this hour for former President George H.W. Bush. This is a live look at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in Houston where the service is being held. This morning's service is a private one. It follows a state funeral held Wednesday at the National Cathedral in Washington. Among those eulogizing the late president today, former Secretary of State James Baker. Baker was also a close personal friend of President George H.W. Bush. Bush's grandson George P. Bush gave the other eulogy. His casket is now being placed on a train in Houston and will be taken to his presidential library in College Station, where he will be buried later today. More than 11,000 people paid their respects to President Bush as the 41st president laid in repose all night at the church. President Bush died at his home in Houston on Friday at the age of 94. New this noon, police today responded to a report of a student who was stabbed inside a classroom at a middle school in Woburn. That's according to New England Cable News. The stabbing was called in by a teacher around 8 o'clock in the morning at the Kennedy Middle School. When police got to the school, they found a 12-year-old had been stabbed in the hand with a knife during an argument with an 11-year-old student. Police say his injuries are not serious. Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno vetoed the city council's approval of a board of police commissioners. 22 News reporter Taylor Knight is live in the studio to explain why this is vetoed and how that could be overturned.
Yeah, the board of police commissioners would be a 5-person committee that would take over the hiring, firing, and discipline of the police department. Currently, Commissioner John Barberi handles these tasks. Mayor Dominic Sarno told 22 News this system is working well, and that's why he vetoed the city council's vote on Wednesday. But City Councilor Justin Hurst voted in favor of implementing a police board of commissioners because of recent criticism regarding how the department handles alleged police misconduct.
With any organization, obviously there's a checks and balance, but you have to have the head of that organization, he or she, being able to call the day-to-day shots.
Our hope is that they will be able to hold the officers a bit more accountable than we've been able to do thus far.
According to the City Council, if a board was reinstated, Commissioner Barberi would remain within the department in a chief of police role. The City Council could override the mayor's veto with a 2/3 vote, which could happen at a meeting on December 17th. Taylor Knight, 22 News.
New this afternoon, 4 people have been arrested following another drug bust in Springfield. Springfield police have seized more than 3,000 bags of heroin, 100 grams of cocaine, 130 bags of marijuana, and over $1,600 in cash following an investigation on Janice Street. The 4 people arrested Wednesday have been identified as 27-year-old Artem Vasilovich, 37-year-old Wanda Perez, 25-year-old Shirley Pina, and 29-year-old Christopher Booten. Ryan Walsh of the Springfield Police Department told 22 News the investigation focused on the distribution of heroin out of a home located at 41 Janice Street. They have been charged with heroin and cocaine trafficking, among other drug charges, and possession of a Class A drug.
And now the 22 News Storm Team forecast.
12:04 right now. It's not been a bad morning. We've gone from sunshine to thicker clouds, but there's still going to be some breaks of blue sky at times as we head through the afternoon. This is a view from our Springfield sky cam where we are on the cloudier side of things, but we'll go kind of back and forth between mostly cloudy and partly sunny for the rest of the day before we start talking about flurries coming in tonight. Temperatures outside right now already warmer than they were all day yesterday, mid 30s to the anomaly of 38 in Westfield, but most of us are closer to 35, although we're near or below freezing in the Berkshires right now. On our clouds and radar, we actually did have some flurries in the Berkshires earlier that faded away as they headed into the valley. Now we've got partly sunny skies and a slight chance for a flurry or two to reach the ground over Berkshire County for the rest of the afternoon. In general, though, back and forth between partly sunny and mostly cloudy skies. From 35, we get to 38. Or between about 36 to 40 degrees for high temperature ranges here this afternoon. Then we'll turn mostly cloudy into tonight, and with the extra clouds will come the risk for a few more widespread flurries and even a couple snow showers. We'll time those out and take it into a cold start to the weekend with our 22 News Storm Team forecast.
Two American warplanes collided in midair and crashed into the Pacific Ocean off Japan. 2 U.S. Marines were rescued, but one later died. 5 other Marines remain missing. Japan's defense ministry said the 2 U.S. planes collided in the air and then crashed into the Pacific Ocean during a morning training exercise. The fighter jet involved was apparently filmed taking off from the airbase. The Hercules had 5 Marines and the Hornet had 2 Marines on board. One crew member of the Hornet was rescued by a Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force helicopter. He is in stable condition. The SDF and U.S. military are searching for the 6 remaining crew members. Former Massachusetts House Speaker Salvatore De Macy has lashed out at the Federal Bureau of Prisons during his first interview since being granted compassionate release in 2016, after serving 5 years of an 8-year sentence on federal corruption charges. De Macy called the Bureau a rogue agency during an interview Wednesday on WGBH. He said the agency doesn't provide needed health care to those under its supervision. The Democrat said he is in remission for throat and prostate cancer and thought he was going to die in prison. De Macy has since received treatment at Massachusetts General Hospital and the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. De Macy declined to discuss his 2011 conviction, saying he wanted to leave that in the past. A nativity scene in Dedham is causing controversy for showing baby Jesus inside a cage and the 3 wise men separated from Mary and Joseph. The controversial scene was set up over the weekend at St. Susanna Parish. Over the top saying peace on earth is accompanied by a question mark. Baby Jesus is in a black cage and the 3 wise men are cut off from Mary and Joseph by a barrier. Church officials say they are sending a message about the ongoing immigration debate and how those at the border are being treated. The organizers hope the scene sparks conversation.
We hope to nudge people of goodwill in this Christmas season to take a look at what peace is and what's the best way to get there, and if our own policies are advancing that or hindering that.
The idea of this year's nativity display came from a group within the church. Following deadly wildfires in California, residents impacted by the devastation are receiving the gift of Christmas. And you still have time to give a local child a wonderful Christmas. We're giving you a live look at our annual Toys for Tots campaign. We'll tell you just how long you have coming up. You're watching 22 News at noon.
And now, the 22 News Storm Team forecast with meteorologist Nick Bannon.
Hi, it's 12:11. We're in day, we've got just 5 days left, that is, of our Toys for Tots campaign. So we're kind of at the time that we really start to beg for you to come on and bring a new unwrapped toy to our 22 News lobby. We're starting to fill things up, but we still have a lot of room left here for these new and unwrapped toys. Actually had a great group come in earlier this morning with a bunch of bikes. They said it was about $3,000 worth of toys. You don't need to spend nearly that much. We always appreciate it, of course, but just one toy is enough. If all of us did just one toy, this lobby would be filled 10 times over. And we also have toys going down our hallways here too. But we still need way more toys than we have now if we're going to try to meet the needs here of children here in Western Massachusetts. The general idea, of course, is that you drop off a new unwrapped toy. We prop it up here, and then after our campaign ends, the toys get taken away and distributed to families who need them here in Western Massachusetts with our partnership with the U.S. Marines. So 5 days left of our Toys for Tots campaign. So running out of time now. Today we're open till 7. Tomorrow 9 to 7 as well. Then we've got hours this weekend 9 to 1, both Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday's our final day, 9 to 7 on Monday, and that's it. And if you don't make it by then, well, then you'll be wishing you did. So we don't want you to live in regret here, having not dropped off a new unwrapped toy. We'd love you to come on by and make it part of the holidays for you. And we'll see you soon. Exit 3 off Interstate 391 is how to get here. The only qualification is that the toys need to be new and unwrapped. So bring those new unwrapped toys here, and easy to get here. Exit 3, 391, and then you make a left, and there you are. Let's take it live to our Northampton Skycam here at 12:13. And we've got partly sunny skies. We are drying out, we're dry for now, should I say, but as we head into tonight, the risk for some flurries starts to come back. Let's show you the next 3 days then. So a partly sunny afternoon up to 38. We're 2 to 3 degrees shy of that right now in most communities. And flurries are going to be more of a potential here as we go past 7 o'clock this evening. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, 36, 29 on Saturday, bright but cold. In fact, we start in the single digits Saturday morning. On our clouds and radar right now, partly sunny skies. You see these clouds kind of streaming from west to east, and they've got holes in them, the clouds do. So that's meaning that we're seeing some sunshine at times in between rounds of clouds. There's not much in the way of snow out there now. We had a few flurries over the Berkshires earlier on, but there's going to be more potential for some snow showers and flurries as we head later into this evening. So I expect we get up to about 38 in Springfield and Palmer today, 40 in Westfield, 35 in Blandford. These temperatures are actually not too far from average. Average is about 40 or 41, so about 2 to 3 degrees below average today. Amherst getting up to about 37, same for Northampton and Belchertown, 34 for Middlefield, and a lot of middle and upper 30s for you, excuse me, in Franklin County as well, with a partly sunny sky. Into the Berkshires we go, partly sunny and the risk for some daytime flurries, but then our chances for flurries and even a couple light snow showers goes up as we head through this evening. 22 to 26 for overnight lows. That being said, we're not expecting enough snow to do much in the way of accumulation, although a dusting to a coating is possible in far western Hamden, Hampshire, and Franklin counties, and most of Berkshire County. More at risk for the snow than the Pioneer Valley will. We'll just get some flurries for the most part here this evening and overnight. Tomorrow, we'll start with a few clouds, and then skies become mostly sunny as we head through the day. Highs 34 to 38. Here's our 22 Storm Team 7-day forecast. So down to 6 degrees Friday night into Saturday morning. Very frigid start to the weekend. We're only up to 29 on Saturday, with a lot of sunshine though. Although the breeze is going to be a little bit annoying on Saturday when you combine it with such chilly air. Sunday is by far the pick of the weekend. Not only will we have fewer clouds, it'll be almost a completely sunny, cloud-free day. We'll get up to 36, which will be warmer than Saturday, and we'll have less wind. So in many ways, a better weather day, at least a more comfortable weather day. Monday, not bad, mostly sunny, 37, down to 34 with sunshine Tuesday. Then we're almost into the 40s on Wednesday with a sun and cloud mix up to 39 degrees. Don't forget the latest weather information is always right where you are now at wwlp.com.
New this afternoon, parents of young children should check their medicine cabinets. Tris Pharma is recalling 3 lots of infant liquid ibuprofen sold at Walmart, CVS, and Family Dollar stores. The products affected are sold under brand names Equate Infants, CVS Health Infants, and Family Wellness Infants ibuprofen, all followed by concentrated oral suspension. The company says the affected lots may have a, quote, potentially higher concentration of ibuprofen. The release added there is a slight possibility that a higher potency could cause infants to develop permanent renal or kidney injuries. Babies may also experience nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and tinnitus, headaches, and other gastrointestinal problems. Tris Pharma says it has not received any reports of customers experiencing adverse effects from the products. USA Gymnastics has filed for bankruptcy protection. This comes months after gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar was convicted of sexually abusing more than 150 gymnasts over the years. Survivors of that abuse have since filed 100 lawsuits against the sports organization. USA Gymnastics estimates that it could cost between $75 to $100 million to settle those lawsuits. A SpaceX rocket carrying more than 5,600 pounds of food, water, and supplies to the International Space Station landed in the Atlantic Ocean. This is video from SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, which shows the Falcon 9 landing in the Atlantic Ocean instead of on its landing pad off Cape Canaveral. The rocket carried a Dragon capsule into orbit with essential items such as Christmas turkey, yams, and fruitcake for the 6-member crew on board the ISS. In a tweet, Musk said that engines stabilized the rocket spin just in time, enabling it to land intact in the water. The launch marked the 20th SpaceX mission this year. The astronauts on board the International Space Station are expected to receive the items by Saturday, and with plenty of time before Christmas. And Christmas came early for dozens of people impacted by California's Butte County wildfire. On Wednesday, fire victims stood in line waiting to attend a free holiday shopping event in Roseville. People across the state donated holiday decorations and gifts, including gift cards, toys, games, and books. Fire victims also had access to essentials like clothing and toiletries. from our Franklin County Bureau, Greenfield is in need of a health inspector. Greenfield Mayor William Martin told 22 News they're looking for a part-time health inspector. He also said he's authorized the city's economic director to look for a consultant or certified inspector to conduct 2 pending inspections.
We'll continue on this path until we are able to review the request for $50,000 for that department at the council, the next meeting.
The grant was previously rejected by the council, but it will be reconsidered at the next city council meeting on December 19th. And in other news from Franklin County, Mahar Regional School in Orange is the only Western Massachusetts public school to have a competitive video gaming team. 22 News reporter Jennifer Zarate tells us how this benefits their students.
In October, the National Federation of State High School Associations, along with its partner PlayVersus, an online gaming provider, launched its first ever competition of esports, competitive video gaming at the high school level.
These kids are using critical thinking, they're using strategy, they're using problem solving.
Mahar Regional Junior Justin St. Pierre told 22 News he's always dreamed of competing in esports, which is why he made the push to get a team going at the high school.
It's great. You learn so much that you can use in the outside world from doing this. You learn how to be a leader. You learn how to take initiative. You learn how just, to communicate really well, because communication is the biggest thing, and it's my biggest thing with my players.
Mahar Regional School is the only public school in Western Massachusetts to have a competitive video gaming team.
I've learned that they learn the same things in traditional sports that they're learning in a computer lab, and that was a shocker for me, because I was one of those video game guys who said, oh, they're just keyboard warriors, and it can't be farther from the truth. And that's something that it's a stigma that we're trying to break.
Which is an example of how Mahar is rethinking high school and middle school.
I think administration needs to have that open mind, provide agency, and for students to follow passion. And it's been a great ride for the students that are involved, and it's just growing.
Jennifer Zarate, 22 News.
12:24 now. 5th night of Hanukkah is this evening. Could have a couple flurries around. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies in the low 30s. That's not even that cold, although the chill does return as we head into the weekend. We'll show you that with our 22-day storm team forecast.
New at noon, they're off and running. Award season is officially underway in Hollywood. Nominations were announced this morning for the 76th Golden Globe Awards, honoring the best in movies and television. NBC's Mark Barger highlights some of these major nominees.
Maybe it's time to let the old ways down.
The stars aligned this morning for A Star is Born. 5 Golden Globe nominations, including Best Drama. Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper both earned acting bids, and Cooper added one as Best Director. The superhero hit Black Panther is among Star's Best Drama rivals. So are the Queen celebration Bohemian Rhapsody, Spike Lee's real-life saga Black Klansman, and the 70s love story If Beale Street Could Talk.
I won't make it.
Lady Gaga's Best Actress competition includes Glenn Close for The Wife, Nicole Kidman for Destroyer, Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Rosamund Pike for A Private War.
You've got to make an impression, darling.
Bohemian Rhapsody's Rami Malek is among the Best Actor contenders alongside Cooper. So are Willem Dafoe for At Eternity's Gate, Lucas Hedges for Boy Erased, and John David Washington for Black Klansman.
We can make this work.
The Dick Cheney bio story Vice actually grabbed the most Globe nominations overall with 6, including Best Comedy or Musical, and bids for Christian Bale as Best Actor, Amy Adams and Sam Rockwell in the supporting categories.
The Queen is an extraordinary person.
The Best Comedy or Musical hunt also includes the costume romp, The Favorite. Its 5 nominations include Olivia Colman as Best Actress, Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone for Best Supporting Actress. Box office hit Crazy Rich Asians is also in the Best Comedy or Musical chase, along with the 60s Road Trip, Green Book, and the soon-to-be-released Mary Poppins Returns.
Cool.
Globe's co-host Sandra Oh is also a nominee in the television categories, Best Actress for Killing Eve, and her show is up for Best Drama. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Why? Your intuition.
And now, the 22 News Storm Team Forecast with meteorologist Nick Bannon.
It is 12:29. We certainly appreciate you logging on and watching our web-only live stream of 22 News at noon right now. And we hope that you'll take the time and come on by our 22 News lobby over the next few days for our Toys for Tots campaign. This is what our lobby looks like right now. It is slowly filling with new unwrapped toys, but we still have a lot of room left to go. There's room behind the trees here. There's room back in the corner. There's room down the halls. Come on in here. There you go. Thank you so much. So we've got plenty of room left for your new unwrapped toys here at 22 News. And it's really easy to drop them off. You just swing on by, you park it on a little turnaround at the front, you drop off your toy, and then you're on your way. And we've got actual parking spaces for you too if you want to spend a little more time here searching around and checking out the toys. I know a lot of people actually get in the holiday spirit just by seeing all the toys here. And maybe it gives you some ideas if you've got some children to buy toys for. Seeing all the toys that we have, you kind of know, oh yeah, that's a great idea for a toy. Some people have been bringing bikes, a lot of sporting equipment, board games, dolls, soft animals. Those are the types of things that we're seeing a lot of here this year. But whatever you bring, as long as it's new and unwrapped and you think someone will enjoy having that toy, that's all you really need to think about. We've got 5 days left, including today, for our Toys for Tots campaign. So we are somewhat running out of time for you to drop off these new unwrapped toys. We're open until 7 o'clock today. Yes, extended hours today. This past week and last week we were open until 5, but now it's 7. So it gives you even more time to drop off the new unwrapped toys. And then you can see some of the hours tomorrow, 9 to 7 as well. And then we're open this weekend, 9 to 1, both Saturday and Sunday. And then our final day is Monday. Well, we'll be open from 9 in the morning until 7 in the evening. Final day of our Toys for Tots campaign. So running out of time for you to drop off these toys, but it is really easy to get here. Take 91 to I-391 and then take exit 3 and make a left. And then you're here. Swing on by, drop off your toy, then you're on your way feeling great about your contribution to the holiday season. And you're really making a difference here in Western Massachusetts as well. All right, let's show you what it looks like outside from our Springfield Skycam. A little bit of blue sky out there. We'll call it a partly sunny sky for the afternoon. Not quite as bright as it was at the very beginning of our day today, but partly sunny through the afternoon. Not too bad with temperatures approaching average. We're at 38 degrees in Westfield with a combination of blue sky and some clouds as well. And for the rest of the day, partly sunny. Then as we go into tonight, the risk for some flurries or a brief snow shower. And then tomorrow, we actually brighten back up again. And tomorrow's going to be a relatively quiet but bright day. However, the coldest air of the week settles in as we head into late tomorrow night and Saturday morning, as temperatures will be dropping down into the single digits by early Saturday. And then as we head through the weekend, things start to improve temperature-wise by Sunday. Early next week, we had been watching a potential winter storm, or at least a coastal storm, but that storm looks like it's going to stay way to our south on Monday. It was too close for comfort for a time. We're almost to the point where we can rule it out. Just don't want to just yet, but it's looking like it's a miss for us. Partly sunny skies over us now, and more partial sunshine to come from the west. There's also some of the flakes you're seeing flying in New York State too. That's going to give us the chance for a flurry or two in the Berkshires here this afternoon. But really our best chance for flakes comes after 7 or 8 tonight. Here we are at 8, clouds filling back in, and then there we go, snow showers and flurries starting to develop. I really do think most of them will be in our highest of hills to the west of the Connecticut River, western Franklin, Hampshire, and Hampden counties included. But up and down the Pioneer Valley, we could catch a stray flurry or two as well. These flurries and snow showers will tend to fade away the few hours after midnight. Here we are at 3. And by the time we're getting out the door tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, sun and clouds and dry. Then mostly sunny the rest of the day here tomorrow, and then nice and bright as we head into tomorrow afternoon before turning clear and much colder tomorrow night. So partly sunny too, at times mostly cloudy this afternoon. Highs 36 to 40. Then this evening, scattered flurries or a light snow shower, low to mid 20s, and then becoming mostly sunny as we head through the day tomorrow. Breezy though, 34 to 38. Here's our 22 News Storm Team 7-day forecast. Cold but bright Saturday. 29 for a high after starting in the single digits, and then into Sunday, sunshine and 36 degrees. Monday, sunshine as well, 37, 34, mostly sunny Tuesday, and then sun and clouds on Wednesday, 39 degrees. Meteorologist Brian Lapp is going to update you on the flurries coming in tonight and the cold temperatures to start your weekend on 22 News starting at 5.
A funeral service has just ended in Houston, Texas at this hour for former President George H.W. Bush. We're giving you a live look outside of St. Martin's Episcopal Church. You can see the hearse right there getting ready to take off from outside of the church, and everyone there still watching. This morning's service was a private one. It follows the state funeral held Wednesday at the National Cathedral in Washington. Among those eulogizing the late president today, former Secretary of State James Baker. Baker was also a close personal friend of President George H.W. Bush. His casket, as you see right there, will now be put on a train in Houston and taken to his presidential library in College Station, where he will be buried later today. The ceremony to mark the 77th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor will be different from any other. This year will mark the first one that none of the survivors of the USS Arizona will be able to attend the ceremony. The handful who survived the battleship's bombing on December 7, 1941 are all in their 90s. Last year, just 3 of the 5 remaining members of the USS Arizona were able to attend the ceremony. Health issues and doctor's orders are preventing the last remaining survivors of the attack to attend this ceremony. Both historians and regular citizens say their absence means we could start to lose a human connection with the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Once all these Pearl Harbor survivors are gone, and the people who knew them are gone, we will have lost this last living connection.
Lou Contour, one of the survivors on the USS Arizona, says Americans should focus on those who lost their lives that day in 1941. Rescuers are searching for 5 missing Marines after a pair of U.S. warplanes collided in mid-air during a refueling exercise off the coast of Japan. 2 Marines were pulled from the sea, but one of them later died. NBC's Keir Simmons reports.
Right now, multiple rescue ships racing against time in the sea off Japan. 5 U.S. Marines still missing this morning. The U.S. ambassador hearing the news at an event in Japan.
My heart goes out to the families and the colleagues of the Marines that are involved in this tragedy.
2 planes were conducting regularly scheduled training, the U.S. military said, calling the accident a mishap, but not giving more details about what happened. Both planes had launched from Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni in Japan. They crashed approximately 55 nautical miles off the coast. At 2 a.m. local time, the KC-130J, which often provides refueling support, went down along with an FA-18 Hornet. Refueling operations as standard military procedure. A hose trails from the tanker aircraft. The combat jet receives the fuel at up to 3,000 pounds per minute. The cause of this crash still very much unclear. Did something go wrong during a refueling exercise? It does seem as if the 2 planes somehow collided. Meanwhile, get this, one of the Marines was rescued after 10 hours in the water. Keir Simmons, NBC News.
You're watching 22 News at noon.
Thank you for joining this edition of 22 News in Progress. I'm Ciara Speller, and you were just watching NBC's live coverage of the funeral for former President George H.W. Bush in Houston. NBC will be continuing its coverage of the nation's farewell to President Bush later this afternoon. In world news, in the wake of the apparent suicide of a top U.S. Navy commander in the Middle East, the King of Bahrain met with his family members and with U.S. Navy officials. Video released by Bahrain TV shows Bahrain's king receiving family and friends of Navy Vice Admiral Scott Sterney on Wednesday. The king expressed condolences over the death, which happened Saturday at the admiral's home in Bahrain. Sterney was the commander overseeing U.S. naval forces in the Middle East. Sterney was commander of U.S. Naval Forces Central Command and commander of U.S. Fifth Fleet. The Navy is investigating his death. An Australian appeals court has overturned a conviction against the most senior Roman Catholic cleric ever found guilty of covering up child sex abuse. Philip Wilson, the former Archbishop of Adelaide, was convicted earlier this year of concealing the sexual abuse of 2 altar boys by a pedophile priest in the 1970s. But his appeal against the verdict was upheld today, with the judge ruling there was reasonable doubt that the 68-year-old cleric had committed the offense. Wilson had served almost 4 months of a year-long home detention sentence at his sister's house outside of Newcastle. At least 3 people were killed and 44 others injured after a major explosion at a plastics company in the Dominican Republic. Just take a look at all that smoke. 13 children at a nearby school were injured in that explosion. 3 adults suffered second and third degree burns and are in critical condition. Crews are still searching for victims underneath all of the rubble. Cuban citizens will be able to get internet service on their cell phones this week. Up until now, Cubans have only been able to use the internet on their phones for their state-run email accounts. The Cuban government has spent the last several years building a 3G network across the islands. In consumer news this afternoon, the MoviePass struggling movie ticket service will soon offer consumers various levels of access to the latest films. Starting in January, MoviePass is unveiling a new 3-tiered pricing plan. Currently, all users pay $9.95 to see 3 movies per month from a select list of blockbusters and independent films. Prices will vary depending on where you live. Subscribers in major cities such as New York and Los Angeles, where ticket prices are the highest, will pay more. The new tiers are Select, which lets you see 3 movies, but not on opening weekends or in IMAX or 3D. All Access has no limits on when you can see a film, and Red Carpet includes 1 IMAX or 3D movie per month. Walgreens is expanding its next-day home delivery prescription service. The drugstore chain is working with FedEx to launch a nationwide next-day delivery service for prescription drugs. Walgreens already offers same-day delivery in select markets and plans to continue expanding that program as well over the next year. The delivery services are part of Walgreens Express, which allows customers to preview the cost of their prescription and prepay for those prescriptions that are eligible for delivery. The cost is almost $5 to have qualifying prescription drugs delivered as early as the next day, or customers can choose to pick it up in stores, checking out in a special express line. time is now 12:48 on the Health Watch. If you think you have to go to the emergency room, you may want to reconsider your options. According to the State Employer Health Coalition, more than 40% of emergency room visits in 2015 were avoidable. A new business coalition wants to fix that issue by working with doctors, hospitals, and health insurers. They hope to educate the public on when you should go to the emergency room instead of urgent care centers. The new group will begin their work later this week. Many people haven't gotten a flu shot yet this season, and many don't plan on it. A poll from the University of Chicago suggests 41% have no intention of getting the flu vaccine this year. Most that is cited concerns about potential side effects from the shot. About a third say they never get the flu, and the CDC recommends everyone over 6 months receive an annual flu shot. The Center for Human Development in Springfield makes sure people with disabilities can participate in sports they love. 22 News reporter Haley Crumbleholm gives us a look at the CHD's adaptive rock climbing program.
I wasn't nervous, but looking at it and stuff like that, I didn't know if I was going to end up being able to do it or not.
But for Brian Balver, that doubt became determination. And now he's been climbing at the Hadley Rock Gym with CHD for years. Even more impressive, he only relies on his arms to reach from rock to rock.
They get to use the little footholds and stuff like that, and they can use their legs where we're just using our upper body, so it's actually a lot more work. People coming over and watch or whatever, and I really don't think it's any big deal to me because it's just what you have to do, you know.
Those in the CHD program have a range of abilities. Some only rely on their arms to climb. Others use adapted equipment and extra rope to work their way up the wall.
Actually had been watching them do it since they first started, but I was really nervous.
Heidi Irwin took the plunge in May and made her first climb at the Hadley Rock Gym with a group from CHD. Climbing for Heidi has its challenges. She can only rely on one of her legs for leverage, but she loves it.
It was actually the catalyst for me doing other things too that I was nervous to do, so it kind of changed everything for me. That first time rock climbing, it really did.
Climbing is just one of numerous adaptive programs that CHD provides. Whether it's sled hockey or aerial yoga, you won't find Heidi sitting on the sidelines any longer. In Hadley, Haley Crumbleholm, 22 News.
And now, the 22 News Storm Team forecast with meteorologist Nick Bannon.
So as we head into tonight, a few flurries and a passing snow shower or two. Overnight lows in the low to mid-20s. For the most part, that's not going to cause any problems, but could be a dusting or coating in our western hills. And then becoming mostly sunny after some early clouds tomorrow, although a breezy day. Highs 34 to 38. We're bright but cold on Saturday with highs just 29 degrees after starting out near 6 degrees early in the morning. Sunday is bright but not as cold. Mid-30s. Then as we head through Monday and Tuesday, mid to upper 30s, and still plenty of sunshine and still dry. Wednesday, sun and clouds, and look, we're almost up to 40. In fact, there's some signs that 40s will begin by next Thursday into Friday. Meteorologist Brian Lapis will show you that, whether the warm-up in fact takes hold, and also keeping an eye on any flurries into the evening on 22 News starting at 5.
Tonight on 22 News, the average American lifespan continues to drop. 22 News will dig into the cause of the country's declining life expectancy and what's being done about it. And our storm team is tracking temps dropping into single digits overnight this weekend. It's all coming up tonight on 22 News starting at 5. And we thank you for joining us this afternoon. We hope you can be back here for 22 News at 5. As always, we have the latest news and weather updates online at wwlp.com. Have a great afternoon.